Previously on Undercover.
I followed Sonny across the street to Lucky's. Look, Sonny, I don't know what's going on, but...
Mr. Salvo, thank you for joining me.
Nino? Antonino Vitale was the head of the Marino family.
I've been hearing good things about you. There's just one problem. You're a rat.
What could I say? He was right. I've been undercover for almost 13 months.
I'm actually here to make you a deal.
He wants you to do what?
Investigate a murder.
Absolutely not. Your cover's blown. We're pulling you out.
Think how much I'd be able to learn about the organization with 2 weeks on the inside.
What do they know about this murder?
Last night I was having dinner with Luigi. He left around 10, said he wasn't feeling well. Just as he reached the sidewalk...
If you want the truth, I'll get it. But I'm gonna need some latitude.
There's one catch, though.
What's that?
You're gonna have to murder someone.
The world of an undercover FBI agent is perilous at best. Every move, every word, even every thought has to be checked to make sure it agrees with your cover. There's no room for mistakes, no do-overs. So when I was outed by Antonino Vitale, head of the Chicago-based Marino family, and then allowed to walk out of Lucky's with all of my limbs, the smart thing to do would have been cut my losses and get out of town. That's what my handler Michael wanted me to do. But I couldn't give up on more than a year's worth of work that easily. So instead, I found myself sitting across from Nino at Carlito's, a little Mexican joint in Washington Park. So, explain to me how this consigliere business is supposed to work.
I thought the FBI had figured all these things out decades ago. My consigliere is basically like my second-in-command. Technically, Sonny is too, but he's an idiot.
No, I know what it is. I mean the part about...
You killing someone.
Yeah, that.
Well, it's pretty simple, really. They're already gonna be busting my balls if I promote you, so I gotta give them some reason for it.
And if I made a high-profile hit, then...
Exactly.
But who?
Well, I was thinking Luigi's killer. Then your promotion would be seen as some sort of reward.
Only we don't know who that is yet.
No, but they don't know that. I got plenty of people need taken care of. Pick one.
And you think I'm just gonna go kill one of them? Now, how am I supposed to do that?
Look, the how ain't my problem. You want in? This is the way. Maybe this'll help.
What is it?
It's a little motivation. Open it up.
Ivan Volokov. He's Russian mob, right?
Uh-huh.
And this is who you want me to kill?
Let's just say I wouldn't shed any tears if he were to have an unfortunate accident. Keep reading.
Alright, so he's a bad guy. I get it, but... is that...
Special Agent Sean Wiggins.
Volokov killed Wiggins? I thought it was a random mugging.
That's what Volokov wanted you to think.
And how'd you get this picture?
A concerned citizen who happened to be in the area at the time.
Concerned citizen, huh?
What's he doing here?
Sonny, thanks for coming.
Of course, Nino.
Have some fajitas.
Thanks.
Did you get everything arranged for the...
Forget about it. It's taken care of. Oh, but the Undertaker says an open casket's out of the question.
I guess that's not unexpected.
Sorry to hear that.
Look, boss, no offense. What's this punk doing here?
Since when do you decide who I eat dinner with?
I just think we need to be a little more careful, considering what happened to Luigi.
Well, since you seem intent on forcing yourself into my business lately, Santo here and I were just discussing our response.
Found out who did it?
The punk did, actually. Why didn't you?
Look, Nino, what's the guy's name? I'll get Johnny and Marco.
Forget it, Sonny. Santo's taking care of it. You can focus on more important things, like protecting me from my dinner guests.
I excused myself and left the two to argue amongst themselves. I had no desire to get in the middle of something, and besides, I had work to do. Nino had arranged for me to visit with some of the upper-level members of his crew under the guise of learning more about the business. My first such interview was with a stocky Italian named Alfredo, who curiously spoke with a thick British accent, the product of being sent off to boarding school in the UK in his teens. Apparently his parents hoped it would straighten him out. A lot of good that did. I caught up with Fredo in the back of his butcher shop, where he was known to handle particularly troublesome debtors on occasion. but was fortunately only concerned with a large cow at the present. So, Fredo, they tell me you have a pretty good handle on the interactions between the different families.
I suppose.
So what do you think of this business with Luigi?
It's a shame, that's for sure. Luigi was good people.
Yeah. Word on the street is it might have been the Zetas.
It's possible, but I don't see it.
Why not?
There's no reason to. The Zetas are too concerned with the Russians right now, after they screwed them on a deal last week. Got away with a truckload of dope. And besides, it's just not their style. Luigi was shot twice in the chest at close range with a pistol, and the shooter retreated to a waiting car. The Mexicans came after Nino a couple of years back as he was going into church. A couple of idiots with AKs hanging out the side of an Escalade. Sprayed the church entrance as they drove by. Nah, whoever did Luigi, they knew what they were doing.
Was Nino hurt?
No, the way he tells it, he still went inside for confession and asked for absolution for the retaliation he was going to bring to them.
What church was that?
Blessed Mary over on 5th. Father Angelo was a friend of Nino Sr. back in the home country. They immigrated here together, and Angelo found God while Nino took a different path. But their friendship endured. All right, enough talk. I need you to make a delivery.
Sure. Fredo wrapped up a couple steaks with several stacks of 20s and sent me back to Nino. After dropping off the payment, I set to work making plans for the night. I needed to kill someone, and as a federal agent, that meant I needed to be extra cautious. Having put together a plan with a reasonable chance of success, I lured my prey down to the docks, where we would be relatively secluded. On Nino's recommendation, I was accompanied by Marco, a thick-skulled bodybuilder, and Armando, a small but scrappy kid in his late teens who could think on his feet pretty well. All right, so you guys know what you're doing?
Yeah, we got it.
We just distract them, you'll take out Volkov.
And under no circumstances should you engage them. They can't know we were behind it.
What if they engage us?
They won't.
You don't think they'll be suspicious when we show up and then Volkov takes a bullet?
Not suspicious of you. I floated a rumor that the Zetas want him dead.
The Mexicans?
They had a bit of a falling out recently. That's why he agreed to do this deal with us.
Okay, and what are we selling them?
Doesn't matter. The deal is going to be interrupted anyway.
This sounds pretty complicated. Why don't we just walk in there and take them all out?
You do have a brain somewhere in that thick skull, don't you? If we go in there with guns blazing, there'll be evidence all over the place. If I take him out with one shot from the top of that warehouse over there and collect the shell, the cops have nothing.
I guess.
Under no circumstances can this lead back to me. You got it?
Yeah, we got it.
Now get in there. They're waiting for you. I took up my position on the roof of a nearby warehouse about 100 yards away. I didn't want to be too far away because this had to be done in one shot. There was no room for any mistakes. While I got in place, Marco and Armando played their part well and brought Volokov and his men out in the open.
So, in light of your recent troubles with the Zetas, Mr. Vitali was hoping we could come to some sort of agreement that would work to our mutual benefit?
We're open to considering such an arrangement.
Good. Well, we should have a boat arriving any time now. Consider it a sign of good faith.
Mr. Volokov will appreciate that.
Yes, I will.
Mr. Volokov, it's nice to finally meet you.
We shall see once your package arrives.
I think that might be it now. The light's over there.
Good.
I sighed heavily as I watched Volokov tumble off the ledge and into the icy water below. The deed was done, and I had my in. It hadn't been easy, though the evidence I got from Nino certainly had helped. I wasn't sure whether I was more relieved the deed was done or fearful of what obstacles awaited me in the coming weeks. Either way, I wasn't gonna hang around and let the Russians catch me. I packed up my gear and caught a taxi across town for a meeting with my handler, Michael. It had been a long day, and there was a lot of work left to be done.
Undercover, presented by Strobie Studios, is written and directed by Scott Strosahl, and features the talented voices of Greg Kilberger, Cody Burk, Michael Helgens, Steve Rimpici, Scott Strosahl, and Tim DuFresne, and music by Kevin MacLeod. Join us next week as the mystery continues and Santo begins the official side of the investigation as FBI agent John Castelletti. Until then, stay safe and have a good night.
There's no room for mistakes, no do-overs, no mulligans, no takey-backies, no oncey-twicey's. So, when I was outed by...
We're gonna have lots of music. See, he's doing all the music for this show. I don't know if
I'm doing it all verbally. Yes. And
I'm just gonna loop that.
Yes.
It won't get old, I promise.
And if I make a...
That's right.
What was that? I don't remember writing in.
It's right there.
Santa chokes on a hairball.
It's my Bill the Cat impression. We'll be doing that all week long.
Okay, your motivation is not that you were licking your cat before you went to work.
My first such interview was with a stocky Italian named Alfredo, just like the sauce, who curiously said,
Not even in it. Just like the sauce.
I really thought that was part of the line.
No, it wasn't.
That's what I did. I was like, wait a
Throw
second.
that in there, actually.
It's gunshot and then yelling in Russian.
shout some-
Danya!
You don't have to be really close.
hier? Norsten! Norsten zertweist! That went German!
Yeah. Like, what?
There are Germans behind the bushes! I have to remember no Russian. I can only remember vodka!
Kalishnikov vodka.
Old women, Natasha. Russian is very good and simple. There we are, right there. It's all right. It's okay. How we say cosmonaut school is very bad.